Hello.
Hello.
Oh, welcome to the call. This is Laurette.
Hello, this is Lorraine.
Hi, Lorraine. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Hi there, this is Elisa.
Hi,
It
Elisa.
says it says Brett Harris, but I'm not Brett. I'm Elisa. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I know there are a few other people aren't here. If you want to say hi, you can go ahead and do that. We're waiting for Jay to join us.
I wonder if I can change the name. Let's see.
Hey, Lorette, just make sure to remind everyone before you start the presentation to mute their microphones.
Yes, thank you, Dean.
I know you got that.
We're good for now. We're waiting for Jay. Okay, Jay just messaged me. He's going to be joining us any minute now.
Oh, Lorraine, how long is this meeting going to be? Do you know?
We're expecting it to be about 30 minutes.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Cool, very cool. Okay. Park. I'm calling from New York. Lorraine is in New York. I don't know where.
I'm from New York. Yes, I am originally from Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, you are? Oh. Great.
I'm in Tulsa now.
Oh, okay. Oh. And this is Laurel, right?
Yes.
Laurel. Okay. Oh, how is it in Tulsa?
Tulsa is nice, actually. It's a very fun, cool little city, and just about offers everything. I'm actually going to put you guys on hold 1 second. I got Jay calling in.
Sure.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and enable my video for now. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Jim. I can see you there.
Can you see me?
I can.
Well, I can't see me, so I guess my camera's working pretty good.
Well, no, I can't see you. I can see your name. Sorry.
Really, Rod, I want to do a radio check. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Is that you, Jay?
It is.
Yeah. Hi, Jay. Welcome to the call.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
So we can go ahead and get started. We're at 8:31 now. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'm going to hand it over to Jay. Officially welcome, everyone.
So we'll go ahead and wait for Laurette to get her screen share going, which it looks like there it is.
Okay, guys, can you go ahead and mute yourselves? And then at the end of the call, I'm going to invite all of you to unmute so that you can participate if you need to in the conversation. But for now, if you can mute, and I'll go ahead and mute myself too while Jay is speaking. And I will go ahead and hand it to you, Jay.
Thank you, Lorette. Oh, good. There we are. Presenter mode. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for taking time out of your evening. We're super excited. We're going to cover this call in 30 minutes, hopefully not a second more. The next screen is going to show you what we are going to cover tonight. I'm going to give you guys a couple of quick updates. The Google Trend Report, talk a teeny bit about H2 research, some product updates, website, and then on to the meat of the call, Ultra Water Bar. Then I'm going to introduce Lorette Snyder, and she's going to take you through her 3 hot tips to increase your sales. Then she'll wrap up by talking about the next training, how to get your free bottle of H2Viva, and then summarize the call. So without further ado, we're going to get right into it. I think some of you have heard me talk about this and maybe even seen it. This data that we're going to show you, and just go ahead and bring the whole slide up, Lorette, is from an industry trend report. These are the kind of reports that Google sells to companies for $25,000 or $30,000 on an annual basis. And so this one was for the Google or the beverage industry. And if you look at page 45, it says consumers want more water, and we're seeing an increase in premium water. And so they actually rank the top trending water queries for the water industry, and alkaline water is the #1 trending term, search term in the water space. And it's actually been that way for, you can see on this graph, it goes back to 2012. It's been a sustained riser. And so that's pretty exciting. It should be easier now than ever as salespeople to speak into a higher level of understanding about what alkaline water is, and even some basic information. And so the next screen just is the updates I'm going to give you really quickly. I think in 2014, when we launched the information and the H2Viva tabs and started to shift our focus, there were 350 peer-reviewed research papers documenting therapeutic benefits in approximately 130 to 135 different disease models. So that was August of 2014. Fast forward to February 2019, there's now over 1,000, so almost threefold the amount of research papers documenting therapeutic benefits in over 170 different disease models and health conditions. So, between the Google Trend and the H2 research, just a tremendous time to be in our industry. We've never had such great interest and such great scientific backing. So on to product updates. We are in the process of finalizing some updates to the H2 series. The main update, there's a number of them, but the main one that will impact most of us is that we've moved to a new water cell design. I'll say that the current cell in the current H2 series has been the best performing water cell that we've ever seen. I mean, we've been selling the thing since December of 2015, and we have yet to see a single cell failure. We used to replace, of the MCO cells, we used to replace 30 or 40 a month. So that's a staggering statistic for the current cell. And the new cell is even more robust. There's 2 main differences or improvements in the new cell. If a cell sits vertically inside of the water machine, you have the top of the cell and the bottom of the cell. We call it upstairs and downstairs, just in short. And all cells drain from the bottom of the cell, meaning when the water at the end of the cycle and somebody turns the machine off, the water sits in the bottom of the cell. Well, guess what happens? Over time, the wiring, all that stuff corrodes because it's all at the bottom of the cell in the basement. The new cell has all the wiring harnesses and everything at the top of the cell, so it's just going to be a little bit more durable. They also moved from a horizontal interface to a vertical interface, which means there's less contact points, and they can make the cell even a little bit more robust. We kind of looked at them and said, how much more robust could 0 failures be? But they claim it's a better cell design, and that we'll appreciate it as time goes. The second improvement is that they have adjusted a number of different things to increase H2 production. And of course, that will be dependent on water temperature, source water quality, all the different things that impact H2 performance. But we've already tested the new machine, or at least a prototype of it here in the warehouses in Reno at our test bench, and it's doing excellent, about 15 to 20% more H2 at the same settings compared to the current H2. So lastly, there have been a lot of updates going on the website, a lot of them in the back end. I know since the last time we were on a call, we've gone to a single page checkout like Amazon, and we've brought on a number of different functionalities. Auto ship will be the next big one that's coming online, and that's going to occur sometime over the next month. So stay tuned for that, because we'll be sending out emails urging all of you to get your customers on auto ship for filters. We'll be discounting the filters slightly and offering free shipping for people who get on to auto ship for the filters. So it'll be a great deal for you to help your customer retention, and also a great deal for the customers. So just watch for emails announcing that. The next thing I want to talk about is Ultra Water Bar. We've been in various ways testing Ultra Water Bar for, gosh, really over the last 3 years. So go ahead and bring the whole slide up, Lorette. Ultra Water Bar is based on 6 vending machines in our H2, our Vesta H2. And so we have a variety of different vending options that we can take into businesses, health-related businesses such as gyms, health clubs, health food stores, yoga, Pilates studios, many other places that have a healthy focus, because their target market is our target market, right? So, you know, it leverages what's going on with alkaline water. More people know about it. You go into your local supermarket and you will see alkaline water, you know, you'll see 10, 15 brands of alkaline water if you're in a Whole Foods. So next slide. So that's an Ultra Water Bar is just basically a small place that a business allows us to bring in one of our machines, and I'll explain the business model in a minute. But here's a couple of great testimonials from people who have been out in the market since. This one guy from 2012 vending water. It's their #1 SKU. This guy owns 3 health food stores. One of their locations, and bear this in mind when we get to the business model, one of their locations vends between $10,000 and $12,000 a month, month in, month out. So next slide. So the core technology, this is what the inside of a vending machine looks like. It's basically RO vending technology married to one of our electrolytic water cells. Of course, when we knock the water flat with RO, we have to put minerals back in it, and we do that with a very high quality remineralization filter. Next slide. And so this is the first machine that we see, and you go ahead and just bring the whole slide up, Lorette. Oh, this shows the business interface. So there's, we have, I think the whole slide's not up here because there's a few more pieces. Yeah. So here, these are e-ports or credit card readers that connect the machine with our RFID signal back to a computer system, which gives you the ability to log in and see how much water the machine is vending, and you know where the filter life is, and all sorts of reporting information. So these machines are hooked up, and there's a way for us to monitor the vend. So the basic concept is, as dealers, you guys can go out to these health-related businesses, place these machines into the business, and make money on the back end earning off of a percentage of the monthly vend. And there'll be a screen here in a minute where we'll actually show how that works. So here, I just want to flip through the basic technology. These are the freestanding units. So these suckers are taller than you are, and they're gorillas. They come on pallets, and they're big. You know, they're full-size vending machines. The top one will actually do reverse osmosis or alkaline ionized water, whichever your customer selects. And we already have a couple of those out in the field, and a couple more that are on their way into placements. The single spring in the lower right only does alkaline ionized water. The next slide will actually show you some smaller options. We have a countertop, a couple of countertop, 3 countertop models, and then a restaurant model, a sink and a fountain style unit. And there's actually one more that I didn't choose to put on here. But go ahead and flip to the next slide. So here's the business model overview. So we're going to own these vending units. So you're not going to run out and sell these. We will sell them retail if a customer or a store or health club wants to buy it. And that tends to happen in environments where people already know, like maybe they have a Glacier machine in their store or something like that, and they're familiar with the vending and they want to own the revenue stream. So in the typical placement model, we own the equipment. The store is not going to own the equipment. So you, the dealers, go out and find appropriate places. We have a document, a pre-qualification document that's right online, and we'll show you the website here in a minute, where you can go in, get all the information from the location, and if they qualify, we vet them at corporate. If they qualify, we will ship a vending machine to that location. They don't pay a dime. And in exchange for allowing us to install our vending machine in their location, we will give the store 35% of the vending revenue after what's called a SEAM fee. The SEAM fee is short for service, equipment, and maintenance fee. And that is different on each machine, but let's say on the dual vendor, it's $250, right? So the SEAM fee comes off the top of the vend, and then say the machine vended $1,250 in a month. We take the SEAM fee right off the top, $250. That would leave $1,000 of monthly vend to split between the store, the dealer, and AlkaViva. So as dealers, you guys, every single month, month in, month out, will get 15% of the vending revenue after we deduct the SEAM fee. So next slide shows 3 ways to earn, and I'm going to give a few little examples and an earning potential for somebody who's really focused on doing this and trying to do it full time. So if you sell a machine, in other words, an outright purchase, or you place a machine, you're going to make an upfront direct commission. And that's on the dual spring, for example, it's $2,000. Oops, we lost the full screen there, Lorette. So if you were to place 10 machines in it, looks like we've lost our, I'm not sure what's going on here. I'll just keep talking and we'll get back to
I'm bringing it back, Jay.
Okay. So there's a direct placement or purchase commission, just like as if you sold a Vesta H2, and you'll get one of those for every machine that you sell or place. So for example, in a year, if you place 10, you'd earn $20,000, 2,000 times 10. Then on the revenue share, let's say in the example here, there's a $2,000 a month vend. We take off the $250 SEAM fee. That means that the dealer placing that machine would make $171 per month, month in, month out. And let's say you had 10 of those that were all similarly productive. You'd have 171 times 12 months, or $2,000 a year per machine times 10 locations. That'd be $20,520. But then the really big money, where I get really excited about the Ultra Water Bar, is that people who buy the vended water eventually they love the water, they get hooked on it. Guess what they want? They want a retail ionizer in their home. So you get to, as a dealer, sell home ionizers to the vending customers. If you're a D3, you make $14.95 on a Vesta H2. We're encouraging our dealers to spiff the location for giving you the lead, right? If I've got a vending machine in a health food store and they give me a lead and I convert them, I'm going to give the health food store $250. It's good for them because they lose the vending revenue on that customer, but they get, if they're vending $2 a gallon, that's 125 vends they're making all in one shot at $250. So that leaves you $1,245 in profit. If you were to just sell one ionizer per quarter every 3 months out of 10 locations per year, that'd be 40 ionizer sales in a year times 1,245. That's an income of $49,800 on the retail sales. So if you add it up, click the little deal. It's a little jumbled. I apologize. I did this slide late in the day, but direct commissions, you'd make $20,000, 2,000 times 10 On revenue share, you'd make the 20,250 at 171 per month times 12 times 10 machines. And then the ionizer sales, you make just a little shy of 50 grand. You'd be close to 90,000 in your first year. And I can tell you this, Ruben, who's our manufacturer on these machines, has been test marketing this for 5 years, and he's sold a lot more than one per quarter. In fact, he just placed 2 machines in November, and he's already got 4 sales actually. He just updated me on Monday. He's got 4 sales in 2 locations since November, and he's got 22 placements of machines on the way over the next couple of months. So Ultra Water Bar, it's a fantastic revenue generator, and it's a great lead generation program for your ionizer business. We are really excited about this, and we've got a bunch of tools to help you sell this. So go to ultrawaterbar.biz. That's the business site, and you can see a lot of this information up. Go through the navigation at the top, and you'll see all the presentation materials, Google Trend Report. And then we've got a site for our retail sales, which we haven't really dialed up fully yet. So, but the .biz site is pretty full. We've got a catalog. We've got a bunch of sell sheets, and we are going to do a introductory Ultra Water Bar call just specifically on Ultra Water Bar next Thursday at 1:30, and Lorette will have the information for that on the back end. And I think, so yeah, there you go. Next Thursday, 2/21. I think it's going to be at 1:30 p.m. Pacific. So that was a lot I had to cram in 10 minutes. I ran over a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead at this point and just introduce Lorette Snyder, who I think a lot of you already know. Lorette is a 25-year seasoned, highly trained and certified sales professional and personal development coach. She's worked with in Tony Robbins' organization. She's been with Southwest Consulting. She's been with a bunch of different, corporate gigs. I think the one most notable that stands out was she was a regional sales manager for Gateway Computers back in the day when Gateway was all the rage, and how cow-colored boxes were showing up at people's doors. And Lorette's been in and around the alkaline ionized water industry for over 15 years. So I think she's a person with a great sales training and professional background that's cut out perfectly to work with each one of you. And I want to implore you before I turn it over to her, use Lorette, call her from her, have her help you, give opening and intro tips and sales cycle training, and ask her to help you close what you did wrong in a close that you didn't close. So she's a great resource, a fantastic addition to our team. And
Yay.
And I'll turn it over.
Okay, everybody, I just want to please ask you to mute yourselves. There's a lot of background noise, and the other callers that are participating aren't able to hear. So if everybody could just take the next 10 seconds to please mute yourselves on your computer or on your phone. And then at the end of the call, I will invite everybody to get back on and start talking. Or asking questions or whatever that may be. So there's still a couple of you that are unmuted. Somebody calling from a 330 area code. If you can go ahead and mute yourself.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. All right, thank you so much, and thank you, Jay. That was really fantastic information that you shared on Ultra Water Bar. And before I get too far into this, I want to just kind of echo the sentiments that Jay was putting out there about the Ultra Water Bar. I have had personal experience with it. It is a great program. It is a fantastic tool, not only for getting our name and our brand saturated into the market out there, but really just for getting our water, this alkaline, hydrogen-enriched, ionized water into the market where people can experience it and truly benefit and experience, improve their lives. Again, just a reminder, if you have not muted yourself, please go ahead and do so now. We're still receiving a lot of feedback, and it makes it difficult for people to hear. I'm going to take just another couple of seconds to give everyone a chance to mute.
All right, can you mute everybody?
I'm going to go ahead and go through and try to mute. Okay. All right. I hope that everybody can hear me now. Thank you so much again, Jay, for the introduction, and we'll go ahead and just dig right in. Again, my name is Laurette Snyder. I'm very proud to be the new Director of Dealer Development and Sales Training. I'm here for you to support you in your sales, to help you maximize your sales, reach more people, and really succeed in your business. You got into this business because you believed that alkaline water would help improve lives. You experienced it on some level yourself. You decided that it was really good and beneficial. Maybe some of your friends asked about it and you said, hey, I'd like to be this person to go ahead and offer this opportunity to other people. And maybe you just said, well, you know, I want to be able to sell it in case anyone buys it, or I want to go ahead and build a business out of this. Wherever you are along that spectrum, I want you to know that I'm ready to meet you where you're at and help support you and provide the tools that you need wherever you're at. If you're just beginning and you're kind of just selling it here and there, I want to help you be successful at that. If you're building a business and you're hiring people and you're building a website and you want to make sales that way, I am here to help you build that business and make the sales that you want to make. I have experience in these areas and I can help you. The fact of the matter, though, is that you got into this because you already know that it works. You already believe in the benefits. So let's define what the process of sales is for us. A manager that I worked with a couple of years ago once said to his sales team, and it really stuck with me and resonated, so I'm going to forward that to you. He said, sales is a transfer of beliefs. And when you truly believe in your product and you truly believe in your solution, that's all sales is, right? That's the process of transferring that belief and helping another person get from where they're at to where they want to be. Whether they're dealing with some kind of very serious illness or sickness, or maybe they're just in a place where, you know, they want to improve their health, or they're worried about the contaminants that's in their water. You're helping them get from there to a place where they have access to clean, healthy, hydrogen-rich water that is clear of contaminants. So you are doing a wonderful thing. And it's important that we embrace that and understand that, because that's going to be the foundation that's truly going to help us all succeed as salespeople, as AlkaViva dealers. So understanding that what you're doing is transferring that belief and truly assisting another person will empower you to move forward into your sales. We're going to talk about 3 ways right now that whoever you are, wherever you're at, whether you're with AlkaViva for a couple of weeks or many years, these 3 principles and concepts you can apply to your sales right now to make them better. And again, later on, we'll talk about it and I'll answer questions if you have any, but we're just going to dig right in. There's more training after this where we dig in and we really go into some advanced material, but right now, anybody can really understand these concepts. I'm going to show you how to prevent objections proactively in advance so that you're not worried about how to deal with them if they come up after you ask for the sale. If you do that proactively, then your objections are already handled, and these 3 concepts all work together. You're doing that as you're building value, and if you're truly building value, you are overcoming objections in advance. And of course, if you're doing those 2 things, then you're asking, well, great, but who do I do those things to, right? So you need buyers, right? You need prospects. So we're going to talk about how you can find more prospects, how you can find more buyers. This is the whole sales cycle. And when I send out the manual, there is a manual, AlkaViva Sales Maximizer Manual that's brand new. It digs into the cycle and each part of it a little bit more. But for today, we're just going to have a little bit of an overview because I want to concentrate on those 3 key elements that are going to help you improve your sales right now. And they all sort of happen right in this hemisphere because all of these elements have a direct direct relationship to each other, but we're mainly going to focus on building value and the relationship that that has with asking questions and handling objections. And you'll see as we go forward how those are all intertwined and will help you proactively close the sale, and then of course gather referrals to find prospects to do your introduction and so on and so forth. Let's start with the end in mind, right? And a lot of salespeople all through the years and all through my coming up in sales, we always did this kind of sales cycle approach where we handled objections after we asked for the sale. But what I've learned in my experience and what has made me and the people that I've worked with successful is knowing that you have to think about the objections first, because you have to incorporate them into the value that you build. So what are the objections founded in? What's the root of any objection? And any objection all comes down to three things. Unidentified decision maker, and I'm starting at the bottom here. Get my little laser pointer going so you can see where I'm at. Unidentified decision maker, lack of understanding. Are we all on the correct screen? I don't know if we're on the correct screen. Okay, I'm going to ask one of you to unmute and tell me if you're seeing on the screen.
No, we're not.
Okay.
No, we're not.
All right, let me try to fix that.
None of it. Somehow AlkaViva has control.
Okay. You're seeing it now?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Back to where we were. All right. We're flipping through this. I'll just review really fast. This is where I talked about transfer of beliefs, and everyone on this call tonight is going to get a handout, so you'll be able to have the visuals as we move forward. And then I reminded you that you are truly doing a wonderful thing. Now we're at the 3 points that we're going to go over tonight, which is proactively preventing objections, building value, finding more buyers, sales cycle that we talked about, the overview and the hemisphere that we're going to be working in today, building value, asking questions, handling objections. Now we're talking about the most common objections that we hear. Okay, the first one being an unidentified decision maker. I'm starting from the bottom there. That's pretty simple. Anybody that's been in sales for a while knows that there's nothing like getting to the close of a sale and the person being really excited and wanting to move forward and everybody's happy, and then they say, oh wait, well I have to talk to my spouse or my partner or my sister or my mother or whatever it might be. Finding out early who the other decision maker is, if there is one, is the easiest way to prevent that. And we'll review that again later. Lack of understanding. People don't truly understand what the benefit of alkaline water is. What does a water ionizer do? That creates objections later on because, and I want you to remember this phrase, a confused mind cannot act. A confused mind cannot act. If people are confused, they're exasperated by the information, they're flooded with too many details, they're not ready for all the science and you're giving them too much science, they can't make a decision. So really clarifying that is a way to prevent objections from happening. And then the number one objection that all salespeople run into is money. But I want to tell you this, it is never money. Money is never an objection. Value is the objection. They are failing to see the value in the product or service that you're talking about. Because when people perceive value, cost doesn't matter anymore. This is a quote by one of my favorite sales gurus. I'm a big fan of his. He's a great guy, Brian Tracy. Customers buy your product or service because they anticipate enjoying a value that they would not have in the absence of your product or service. That really captures it all. They're not buying an ionizer so they can have an ionizer. I mean, maybe in the rare case where you have those people that just want to keep up with the Joneses, right? And they want to have it because Betty down the street has it or whatever that might be. But most of the time, they're buying it because they know that it's going to give them something in their life that they would not have if they did not have it. So that's why value is so important. If the value is there, the objections will not be. They're not buying just the product. They're buying the result that the product will give them. So that's what you want to focus on when you're building value. So this is all making sense, right? But you might be asking yourself, well, great, but how do I know what's important to the customer? How do I know what results are going to matter to this prospect? Asking questions. I cannot stress enough the importance of asking questions in a sales transaction. If you are doing all of the talking, you are not selling. When your prospect is doing more of the talking, the sale is happening because they are telling you things about themselves that are going to be very important to you when you present the product to them and you start asking for the sale. You can ask questions to find out what is relevant, find out what their concerns are. What do they already know or not know about alkaline water? What's their lifestyle like? What's their family situation? Where do they work? What are their hobbies? The more they're talking, the more they're giving you clues, telling you what's important and relevant to them. And the more you do this, the more skilled you will become at it, and your ear will start to get trained to pick up on certain key elements that tell you, hey, this is what's important to this customer. And you could just zero in on those things. If you start presenting all of the benefits of alkaline water and you start getting overly scientific with a person that doesn't really care that much about the science and technology, you're not speaking directly to what's important to them. Conversely, if you're staying very superficial to the type of personality that does care about the technology because they're comparing it to something else, you're going to want to go there with them. But in order to figure out who you're talking to and what's important, you have to ask questions that get them talking. They will tell you what's important to them. Once they tell you what's important to them, you present the benefits by connecting them to what's important to your customer. So let's pretend that you're talking to a prospect that told you, after you've asked strategic questions, you found out in conversation that this person is starting a new exercise regimen. They're concerned about some genetic cancers in their family. Maybe they told you about someone that had cancer in their family and they're very worried about it. They're very concerned. They're very worried about the contaminants in their local water. Maybe you sent them a link to a local water report and they're very hyper concerned about that now. They also mentioned that they're starting their exercise regimen because they want to lose weight, and somewhere in the conversation they mentioned that they have a couple of cats, right? Now you can present the benefits and in your conversation connect the benefit directly to what is relevant to that customer. Now you've made it personal. It's not just a sales pitch. It's about them. This is about how this product is going to create water that is going to produce a result that is meaningful to them in their lives. That's what they're going to buy. They're going to buy the result. And you can feel so good about knowing that you are being genuine and honest because you absolutely believe in this product. That's why you're here. That's why you're on this call, because you already know how special and meaningful and life transforming this can be when you start changing your diet in this way. Another great way to amplify the benefit even more, if the situation allows, if you're not on the phone and you're in person, or maybe the person is nearby and you can make an appointment to go visit with them, do a water demonstration. Now, I want to say here that we are going to offer you separate manuals on how to do a very effective water demonstration and how to even host an effective water class where you can generate even more leads. Those are separate manuals. We'll have separate calls on those. So for the interest of time right now, I'm just going to skip over this really briefly. I just want you to know that we will get into this later on. It will be available to you. A water demonstration is really easy. All you really need is a couple of items. I'm going to tell you all, if you didn't already invest in buying some drops, buy some drops. They're very handy to have. And then you need some alkaline water that was produced out of your machine, and you need some tap water. When your customer sees the difference between the acidity in their tap water and the alkalinity of the water that comes out of the ionizer, man, if you're turning water purple, you are selling ionizers, because the proof is right there. It literally shows that our product is doing exactly what we say it's going to do. So you connected the benefit to the results that they want, and now you're proving that they're actually going to experience those results right before their eyes. They're seeing the proof of it. Strongly recommend you doing that. Another very simple way to demonstrate the water is with some green tea bags, and we recommend green tea because the color is a little bit better. You can see it a little bit better. But right there, you can see the difference between tap water and alkaline water, and how alkaline ionized water brings the tea into solution faster. So you're really demonstrating the hydrating benefit that the water has. The people can see it. They know that making this addition to their lives is going to work. The proof is in the pudding, so to speak. Definitely stay in touch with us, because I am going to be offering deeper classes on this and teaching you how to do really effective demonstrations in classes. But for now, get yourself some green tea, get yourself some dry water purple. It will increase your closing ratio. What you're doing here is you're creating a contrast between pleasure and pain. Remember, the customer is buying the result. They see value in it when they anticipate enjoying something that they would not enjoy in the absence of it, right? Remember, people, they will stand online to pay more than $5 for a cup of coffee, right? So what does that tell you? It's not ever about the price. Because you could get a cup of coffee for 40 cents, man, right? But I pay $6 for my fancy coffee because I anticipate that there's value in it, right? So you want to start to bring that together now, and here's where you come out of your comfort zone just a little bit as a salesperson, but you're doing it for all the right reasons. You have to highlight the pain just a little bit. You've already proven the result. You've proven the value. You're going to remind them. Like if they're very concerned about contaminants in their water, you're going to remind them that without it, they're living with inferior water. It's hollow, it's unclean, it doesn't have a high pH, it's acidic, it's not good for you. But you have the solution. Clean, ionized, healthy, hydration water. This is what they will have as soon as they move forward with you. Now the sale starts to get exciting. You could tell that your prospect can't wait. They're excited. They're happy. They feel relieved. They know that, this is exactly what they've been missing in their life, and they're excited about making this change. They start to envision how healthy they're going to be, how many friends they're going to tell about it. And it's happy. It's a joyous occasion. Celebrate with them, because all that's left to do after that is just move forward. You've asked questions that helped your prospect reveal what is going to be meaningful to them. You connected the benefits of alkaline water from an AlkaViva ionizer directly to what is relevant and meaningful to that prospect. You demonstrated the water. You illustrated pleasure versus pain. Now you just got to close it. Now here, I want to tell you, in all my years of doing sales training, and I've gone to my own training seminars as well, I've heard so many people have so many different catchphrases of how to properly close the sale. There's no magic phrase, because you're developing a relationship with your customer when you're building value. The reason you're able to build personal value is because you got personal. You found out something about them. Nobody knows better than you right now how to phrase this closing statement with your customer. And I say closing statement because it is a statement. It's not a question anymore. They're buying it, right? You know how to phrase it. You have a rapport with them. You have a connection with them. It's just a matter of finding out if they're ready, which they are, because you've proactively handled the objections, and take their money. Just do it. It's done. The worst thing you could do, and I've seen salespeople do this in every industry, is the person's excited, the customer's excited, they're literally ready to go, and they say, okay, well, I'll call you back tomorrow. And they just leave. Don't do that. They're ready. Take it. Make it happen. They want you to make this happen for them. You're the reason they're there. So I encourage you to just go for it expectantly. And there's no reason why you shouldn't expect it, because you've answered all of their prayers. You've made it personal. You've connected and you've built value and you've demonstrated the product. Close the sale. Now, what happens if you close the sale and they still object? I don't want you to worry. I don't want you to panic. This does take a little bit of practice. It is something that you could begin right away. Tomorrow, you could pick up the phone and start calling people, or go and visit people, do some demonstrations and close sales tomorrow. In fact, I'm going to encourage you, if you close a sale by the end of this week, I want you to call me and tell me about it. I want to celebrate with you, okay? I'm going to put that out there to you, and we'll celebrate together. But I don't want you to worry if it doesn't happen or if objections still come up, because it will take some practice. And the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. So don't worry about that. Let's review what some people might say, and I'll just point out some hints. I need to think about it. I'm not ready. All right. What do they need to think about? If they're still thinking about something, that means they don't fully understand. Remember what I said? A confused mind cannot act. Ask them what they need to think about. Get them to talk about it with you. You've built a relationship with them. Have a conversation with them. Give them the answers that they're looking for. I don't have the money, or the price is too high. Remember, it's never about cost. It's about value. Go back a few steps in your cycle. Rebuild value with them. I need to talk it over with someone. Well, remember what I said in the beginning? There's an unidentified decision maker. If you could find that out early in the process, that is your best way to go about that. Ask them very early, who else is going to be involved in this decision? You're in a conversation, they mention their husband or their wife in the conversation, you know, boom, there's somebody else that's going to be involved in this decision. I strongly encourage you to start dropping down, stop the conversation, ask them to reschedule when the other person's present, or else you're going to go through it all over again. You're going to miss something. Something's going to get lost in translation. The relationship isn't going to be as tight. I strongly encourage you to get all the decision makers in the same place at the same time. How do you compare to the competition? Again, this goes back to building value. While you were asking questions, they will tell you if they're looking at other competitive machines, and you can deal with it then. Again, just a matter of asking the right questions, getting the right information. Same thing, how does it affect the environment? If you're finding out what's important to this person, they're going to tell you that the environment is important to them. You can address that before you even get to the close. And can you email me some information? Don't do this. Just don't. It's a polite way of saying, no, I'm not interested. They're trying to pass you off. They're not going to read the email. It's not going to happen. Either revisit your sales cycle and build value all over again, or ask them specifically what they want some email information on, and maybe send them a link just to that, then call back to follow up with them. Going back to the money issue, if it truly is cost, they want it, but their credit card got declined, whatever it might be, we have financing. We have preferred financing. We have in-house financing. Really, we cover everything at AlkaViva now. We help everybody get an affordable, clean ionizer in their house so they can be healthy too. And keep in mind that the more skilled you become at proactively building value and asking questions, the less you will hear objections. Now, here's the question. You know how to build value proactively. There's someone out there who's not on mute. I'm really sorry, but I got to ask you to mute yourself because it's distracting, and I have a feeling other people are having trouble hearing me. Thank you so much for doing that. So now you know how to build value better. You know how to proactively prevent objections, right? Great. Who do you do that to, right? Well, there are a few different ways to build value. And I am actually getting a call from Jay right now. If you could all hang on one second. Okay. All right. Jay? Yeah. I'm still on the webinar here. Oh my God. Yeah. Sorry. That's okay. All right, guys. Thank you. So who do you sell to? Let's talk about that for a second. Here's how to find more buyers, right? And the first way you could do that, the best way you could do that is through referrals. Honestly, there are so many different ways that you could generate leads, and eventually we're going to cover all of them in our trainings, and I'll go in depth with you. But the quickest and most effective way to find buyers is by referrals, because happy customers like to share the joy. Very quickly, I'm going to show you this, but I'm not going to dig into it too much. There are different spheres of influence. Your hot network is your closest family and friends. If you're on this call with me, you've probably already gone over that with your closest family and friends. Maybe you sold a couple to them, ask for some referrals. Your warm network is a little bit more extended. Your referrals are actually your cool network, right? That's not necessarily where you're going to get them, but that's actually what they are. They're cool network leads, because once you get them, and the places you get your referrals are from your hot network and your warm network. Go back and revisit with the customers that you've sold. When they're happy, they are happy to share the joy. We even have a way that you can reward them for giving you referrals now. And we can talk more about that later, and I can give you some more information. But if a previous customer of yours gives you a referral and you sell them, we will reward them and thank them for giving you a referral. So it's really a very easy transaction, because, like I said, happy customers like to share the joy. Make a follow-up customer service call. Ask them how they're enjoying their water in their machine. I'm going to tell you this little word of advice. Try to reach your customers after about 2 weeks that their machine has been delivered. Because when someone first receives their machine, and you can remember this, you remember when you first got your ionizer, they're very excited. And then after a while, they're just kind of satisfied, and then they're just content. They're still happy with it, but they're not jumping for joy anymore and, hanging from the ceiling about it. Try to talk to them when they're still very excited about it, because they'll be more inclined to share referrals with you. Even if they're not in that beginning stage, though, I encourage you to go back to your customers that you've sold, talk to them about how they're enjoying the water and what benefits they're receiving, and just say, hey, I'd like to help more people enjoy the benefits that you're enjoying. Who are your friends that might like this? I'd like to call them and talk to them a little bit, and I can even reward you for giving me the referral. All right. In summary, if you prevent objections proactively by connecting relevant benefits that are meaningful to your prospect, you are building value. You're asking questions, making the connection, demonstrating the water, and by finding more buyers, you will have more practice. Referrals are the easiest, quickest, and most effective way of finding buyers. There is so much more to learn. I am going to be doing so much more sales training, starting from very, very basics with this simple starter kit all the way to very advanced training. If you have a website and you want to generate leads, anywhere along there, I will meet you where you're at. There's going to be materials that are available. You'll be receiving a manual. We're going to have calls every week. I'm here for you. Ask me questions if you need to. I will help you with this process. If you do sell something this week after this call, email me, call me, reach out to me. I want to celebrate that with you, and I'll even help you get some referrals. Continue learning by attending our calls every Tuesday evening, and we'll send out information to you and the links. Go to the AlkaViva website. Look for the Smart Shopper shortcuts at the bottom of the front page, and go through those, read those. You're going to get very updated, very in-depth product information, very easy to understand and translate to your customers. And of course, ask questions. We're here to help you, so reach out to us. That concludes our training for tonight. I truly hope that you enjoyed it. There's some contact information here. The most important number you need, or the most important email you need, is the customer service at AlkaViva.com. That's who to email to get your free bottle of H2Viva tablets. You're on the call tonight. You are entitled to this. It's our gift to you. We want you to have it. Email customer service at AlkaViva.com. Subject line, supercharge, free H2Viva. Give them your name and shipping address, and they will send you an H2Viva tablets. Okay, let's go back to the screen we need to be at. You can go ahead and unmute yourselves if you want to say anything. If you have any questions, now's the time to do it. Hi, does anyone have anything?
I have a question.
Yes.
This is Tracy. Can I come in a little bit late because I had a conflict, but you said we can listen to a replay of the first part?
Yes, there will be a replay. We will send out a link either tomorrow or in the next couple of days. There'll be a link where you can get a replay.
Okay, great. And we can still, I heard the last part of it, we can still send an email to customer service at AlkaViva?
Yes, customer service at AlkaViva.com.
Okay.
And you could put in the subject line supercharge that you were on the supercharge call. Okay, and just give them your name and your shipping address, and they'll send you the tablets.
Okay, sounds great. And we get to do this every month, Tuesday at 9:30 my time?
Yes, it will be every Tuesday, and I will send out an email in advance, probably, I'm going to say sometime over the weekend or Monday. I'll send out an email to let you know what the call is going to be about and what we're going to cover. And if you could make it, great, because I love the discussion. If not, they will always be recorded. And there's also going to be, since you're on the call, you will be receiving PDF notes to go along with this call tonight, as well as a PDF full sales manual. It's brand new. It was just written. I happen to think it's very good. So you'll be receiving that by the end of the week.
Oh, good. And I was going to try to see if there's some way I could make a little trifold pamphlet to hand people with my number on it, but I didn't know if that's something that it would take me a while to kind of reconstruct it from all the stuff that I saw in the library. Is that something?
Well,
that
you
was
know
good
what?
to do
That is actually a conversation that we at AlkaViva have actively been having.
Yeah.
And you're the second person to ask about that today. So tell me your name again.
Tracy Manico. I'm with Ruben, under Ruben.
Okay.
But I was just thinking that it doesn't, because I was looking at all the stuff like in the library, and I kind of pretended like I was a customer. If I was a new customer, what pieces would I pick to put in that trifold to keep it simple but eye-catching? Hit all the bullet points, but not make it like a big manual.
Right.
Just to kind of, because sometimes people don't like to make instant decisions, or they like to go home and show it to their spouse, or, mull it over. And it's something that would give them the bullet points and a place to put your name, instead of like business cards. A lot of people just lose them. But if they have information attached to it, like
you know what? I am of the opinion, and I was going to go over this in an upcoming training, but I'm of the opinion that bringing something visual with you when you're making any kind of sales presentation, whether it's a printed PowerPoint or a trifold, something that somebody can hold in their hands and look at photographs or look at pictures, it really does help to solidify everything. So it might be a little while before AlkaViva creates a pamphlet that you're talking about, but it is a conversation that we're having.
Just a little trial.
What I can do, if you email me, in fact, anybody listening, if you email me, and it's lsnyder@alkaviva.com.
Is it L. Snyder or just L. Snyder?
Just L. Snyder, and that's like the pretzel, SNYDER @alkaviva.com. I will send you a presentation that I've used, and it's just a couple of pages and it has pictures on it. It's not a trifold, it is a PowerPoint, but you can print it out, and it does help to bring that with you and leave with
Yeah.
people. And you can
'cause
customize it and put your own name on it.
I've read studies, from different books I've read, written by Elton Taylor, who's like kind of a marketing and psychologist guru. And I mean, according to studies, it seems like it's like 80 or 85% people are more visual than they are auditory.
Mhm.
So that's why everything when the television, all the ads on the TV is always everybody having fun and singing and barbecuing. Why they tell you all the bad stuff they want to sell you.
Right.
Pharma.
Yes.
Because nobody listens. The auditory part doesn't stick with most people. It's mostly visual. So they
Yes.
remember all the good pictures and then the part about ask your doctor and maybe the name of it,
Uh-huh.
So I think
Yeah.
that's why it's so important to have visual. I know I'm very visual, so I know that's important to me as a learner.
Yes, and I agree. And like I said, I'm of the opinion that having visuals with you when you have a conversation, and I've even, people that are far away from me, I'll do like Zoom calls with them and I'll show them PowerPoints
Yeah.
while I'm having a conversation over the phone, because it's important to have that. So yeah, I'll gladly share that with you, Tracy. And when we do have
Okay.
something official, I'll make sure that it gets into your hands.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I'm so glad you're doing this.
Oh, thank you.
It's
I'm
so
really
badly
happy to be
needed.
doing it.
Yeah, it's really great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And just as a reminder to everyone, this call has been recorded. So if you missed any of it, or if you just want to listen to it again, I will send out the link to you. So you'll get that. And you will also receive a PDF version of notes from today's call with all of the slides that we went over during the presentation. Does anyone else have any other questions or input or comments or criticisms?
Lorette,
Yes. Hi, Jim.
how are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good. Thank you for your presentation. Excuse me. What's your feeling about doing tests for hydrogen during our demo?
If you feel comfortable doing that, if you feel like you have the skill, which I know that you do, Jim, I don't want to put that out there for everybody, just in case they're not quite sure how to go about doing that until we do some training on it. But if you're a dealer like Jim that's on the call and you feel comfortable doing a hydrogen test, and the only thing I would caution you about is do it in advance first so you can be sure of the results to make sure that everything goes as planned, then yeah, definitely do it.
Don't do it. I got in trouble. I just did it and I got in trouble. Oh my God. Just check it first.
Check it first.
First,
yes.
check it first. Yeah. Because, it got me in trouble.
Make sure you get the results that you're looking for first.
Yeah, exactly.
And then if you feel that you have the skill level to do it. But if you're uncertain at all, then just do a simple water demo. That's all you really need.
You will be addressing this in a future training call that because I don't want to get into it right now. I just throw this out there that I've had a couple of folks get back to me after looking at other companies' videos. One in particular, which I won't get it. Well, I will. Life ionizers. Be very careful, folks. There's a gross misrepresentation of their hydrogen production, but what it creates when people ask is how do we substantiate what we're telling them, and that would probably be best brought up in another training session.
We are actually going to do an entire training session on dealing with the competition.
Okay.
And I mean, I know most of you were on this call, you've already chosen AlkaViva, and you know that AlkaViva has many benefits, but sometimes the conversation gets tough, and I get it. I understand that. I'm going to invite a couple of guest speakers that have a lot of experience in this arena, specifically with AlkaViva products. It's going to be awesome. So when we have that training call, I definitely invite you to be on that, Jim, because I feel like you have a lot of expertise in that arena, but we will do an entire call on specifically handling the competition.
Okay, and just one other quick thing, because I don't know if you happen to see it, Pana, and I may be saying that incorrectly, had asked a question about where she might be able to find an ultra water bar near her, but I just wanted to allude to that in case you didn't see the questions on the
no, when I share my screen, I'm not able to see the chat.
Okay.
So
well, there is a question there about and Pana, I don't know where she's located, But is there a way she could find out where an Ultra Water bar would be near her? So.
Yeah, actually, you can email me and ask me. I know where most of them are at this point. And if I don't, I can find out pretty easily. But if you're interested in placing them, Pana, I can also give you information about that. That's
Southern California, apparently. I'm seeing the slots.
Okay. I think there might be a couple. I will double check on that, and I'll get that information to you. If you could send me a quick email, Panat. In fact, I will go ahead and put it in the chat here so everyone can see my email address. And anybody that wants to reach me, you can go ahead and email me, and I'll get back to you with any questions you have.
And thank you for taking that from me. Great.
Sure. Of course. Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Questions, comments?
If we want to see the chat, where do we go? Because I'm just on the phone. I'm not on Zoom right now.
Well, it's on Zoom. I don't know that it's going to appear on the recording, but in the future, when you're on a Zoom call, it's on the side. I can't see it as the host when I'm sharing my screen, but now that I'm not anymore, I can see it.
Okay, so
I'm going through some of the questions now.
Yeah, if
there's
I may.
There's a little chat icon there. If she clicks on the chat icon, it will pop the sidebar.
Once she's into the Zoom call, but she was on the telephone. So
I can call. I can call
not on the
into
computer,
Zoom.
right? If she's not.
If I call into Zoom after it's over, I won't see it, right?
Right.
No.
Well,
the chat. Yeah, the chat will go away.
Yeah.
I can try to copy it before I end it, though.
How badly do you want it? Because I can copy it all and send it to you.
Well, am I going to get the PDF notes? Will it be on there?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm going to send the PDF notes separately.
Okay, yeah, I
You'll
definitely would want it. Yeah.
Yep. I am going to send PDF notes. And I am seeing in the beginning of the chat now, I'm looking at it, and I realized when I first started, the slides that were being shared were still on Jay's presentation, so I apologize. But my husband was actually on the call. He's on the call still, Dean, and he just ran into my office and said, "You're on the wrong slide," so I got that fixed.
All right.
Anybody else?
Well, I think this was a great presentation. It's exciting, and looking forward to these the AlkaViva water bars. I really am looking forward to them here in New York.
Good. Yeah.
You know if there's any in New York at all? In this area?
No, actually, I am excited to hear you say that, because in the back of my mind, I keep thinking I would love to fly out to New York and get some Ultra Water bars placed there, because it's such a great market for this. Yeah. So if you're ready to get started and when you have the materials together, I would actually love to fly out there and help you get some of those placed, because I think New York is just and it's my hometown, so I'm a Brooklyn girl, and I always love to visit.
Yes. And Brooklyn is a great place to get these, out. So yeah.
Yep. I'd be happy to help you do that.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Well, we are way over, but I really appreciate everybody's patience. I'm glad that you were all here. I am going to go ahead and end it now. My email is in the chat box, but it is lsnyder, LSNYDER @alkaviva.com. Please reach out to me if you want to tell me anything, if you have any questions, and you all will be receiving the PDF file. Don't forget to email customer service @alkaviva.com to get your free H2 Viva tablets. And thank you all so much for joining us. I'll see you on the next call. Get out there and do some wonderful things.
Thank you, pretty lady.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.